Hello, everyone. Phantom here. Sorry, I'm just getting set up over here. it's it's been it's been a pretty slow day actually today. All right, there we go. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be playing games in the background, or mostly just playing Grip in the background, whilst I talk about the Steam controller alongside just other stuff, because I feel like that's something that I can do. So first off, the Steam controller, right? It is a really, really good controller, especially for the price. I've had it for technically 11 days now, but I was gone all day Saturday. So, more like 10 days of like me actually being able to use the controller. And so far, so good. Oh, sorry, I don't have Frogger on. Yeah, I do think that there could be some improvements to like a Steam controller, like a next generation version of the Steam controller. But so far, so good. Right, I'm not actively like switching this controller with my Xbox controller, except for Forza Motorsport, but that's because Forza Motorsport is Forza Motorsport. Oof. Did not manage to miss that. But besides like not being able to play certain games, and before anybody asks, well, you can add it to Steam as a non-Steam game. I tried that. Didn't work. So there's certain games like Minecraft Bedrock also does this, where it just will not recognize the Steam controller, even if I did put it in through Steam. For some reason, the game just refuses to utilize Steam input. So Minecraft and Forza Motorsport will not launch through Steam. Therefore, I cannot use the Steam controller with those games. Or they can launch through Steam, but the Steam controller just doesn't work. Like, it's like functioning like desktop mode. That is the one downside to having a really interesting controller like this, is because it's not X input. It's, you know, it thinks it's a mouse and keyboard. Therefore, like, it defaults to mouse and keyboard input. other than that, I love the controller is super responsive. Like, there's barely any delay when it comes to like the input delay, even in like wireless mode with the puck. I haven't tested it through Bluetooth. My computer's Bluetooth. Like, it's like a Bluetooth controller. It's just complete dog shit. So I can't really test Bluetooth through my computer. So I can't tell you how it is on that front. But what I can say is the Steam controller works amazingly for games that do run through Steam. One of the best games that this controller works with is, funnily enough, the game I'm playing right now. This is Grip Combat Racing. It also works great with the new game, Grip XR, as well. That's just because both of those games are designed to work with the controller, and the responsive inputs that this thing has, especially with the sticks, it makes this controller feel, or the controller makes the game feel even faster. I do not know how else to explain it. If you play this game with like an Xbox controller, even one that's wired, and you get a Steam controller, this game's gonna feel a lot better. Like, I do not know how a controller can enhance your inputs by that much, but it does. I didn't even mess with any of the bindings. Like, I don't have any of the custom, like, gyro or the trackpads, something like that. Like, I had like the trackpad like move me, but like I don't have like custom shenanigans. Sorry, I was figuring out something. I get into a flow state when I play this game. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I get into a flow state whenever I play this game. But yeah. Oh, really? This controller just makes this game feel like 3 times better. And that's the same thing with the other game, Grip XR, the new game they're making. It'll probably feel a little bit better once they add the air vehicles into that game, because the air vehicles are awesome in my opinion. I don't know why I'm doing these longer races. I'm not grinding for XP anymore, so I don't need to. Ooh. Time to hunt for another shield. Oh. Oh. That was a frame perfect save right there. But yeah, more things about the Steam controller. The thing has not died yet. I haven't charged it since I got it, and it's still living. So its battery life is really good. Oh, I just got double missiled. Oh my goodness. Grab a shield, I need it. Oh. 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 What killed me? Oh, hi there. Hi there. But yeah, there are some games the controller works really well on. Overwatch being one of them. There we go. I haven't tried doing any like Epic Games yet. So Fortnite, Rocket League, GTA. I haven't done any of them yet. I know there's a Steam version of Rocket League. I know there's a Steam version of GTA, but like I don't want to buy them. I got them for free. Oh, yep, I hit the kill box. Oh, that's not what I want to hear. That is not what I want to hear. Oh. Lovely. But yeah, the Steam controller, the TMR sticks are great. They somehow feel more responsive than regular thumbsticks. I don't know how else to explain that. The triggers, there's some improvement there that could be definitely be made. Being caught without a shield. The game is not giving me shields. There it is. There's a shield. I'm gonna need that. Take the speed boost. There's another speed boost over there as well. But yeah, the triggers, the bumpers and triggers, like that is one thing that can be done about them, is to make them a little bit more clicky. So I think for the D-pad, it's just like, because I'm used to Xbox controllers, I'm used to the clickiness of the bumpers. But overall, besides that, the D-pad feels nice, the bumpers feel nice, the triggers feel nice. I don't have any, like, major gripes with the controller. Build quality is nice. It feels nice in the hands. It looks nice in my opinion. The back buttons are nice. The gyro is nice. The trackpads are nice. The grip sense is interesting. I need to start experimenting with that some more. But for the most part, like, the controller is worth more than what I paid for it. Like, it's easily worth $120. Like, I would easily pay $120 for a controller with those features. Yep. It's already right behind me, isn't there? Almost. that one. Oh, I was gonna make that. But yeah, overall, the controller just feels awesome to use. Like, I don't have like anything I don't like about the controller, and it's hard to find like straight up gripes. But I guess if they were to do like a revision in the future, like things for either the Steam Deck 2 or the Steam Controller 2, then here's like some things that I would definitely like to have. Number one, something in the triggers, either vibration motors or haptics or something that's just in the triggers. That way the controller just feels nice to use, like the triggers feel better to use. Because for the most part right now, the triggers feel like PS4 triggers. I know a lot of people like the PS4 style of triggers, but I prefer the Xbox One style, where there were like vibration motors in the triggers themselves. Rather than the PS5's like adaptive triggers, because I've tried them and I'm not too big of a fan of the adaptive triggers. I think it's mostly due to the simple fact that the adaptive triggers for the PS5, they just don't quite work the way you think they would. Because you think, oh, these are new triggers for the DualSense controller, and then you try to use them, and it just doesn't feel quite right. It might just be the game I played, but I don't know. I'd prefer vibration in the triggers rather than the triggers trying to stop me from pressing them. Yeah, having like vibration motors or even just the haptics in the triggers could be like a really cool thing to have. That's like my number one thing is like Xbox One style trigger rumble. The second thing that I would like to have is obviously clicky D-pad and clicky bumpers especially, because like the back buttons, like they're clicky, but the bumpers, they're sort of softer and more membrane feeling. And same thing with the D-pad. Like, you can barely hear that. I know some people like that. I am not a huge fan of that. But yes, clicky bumpers especially, because if you go to like an Xbox controller, like one of these, like I want these for bumpers. Um, if they ever do like in a few years, like keep the overall like shape of the controller. I actually like the symmetrical sticks on this controller. I'm not a big symmetrical stick fan, but on this controller, they work because the entire thing's built a little further apart, so your thumbs don't mush together, which I like. What else? Those like my not really much. Like those are the only big things. Like clicky bumpers, maybe a clicky D-pad, and the triggers having like rumble motors in them. Like those are the only things that I would look for in a revision of the Steam controller. Uh, oh, and maybe an X input mode. That way, the controller can work with games that just will not work with Steam input, like Minecraft. Because that is the one thing stopping me from using the Steam controller full time now, is games that just will not use Steam input. Those two games being Forza Motorsport and Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Java Edition is also in a similar boat, but I can download Controlify, like the Controlify mod, and that would just work. So I don't have to worry about that on Java Edition, but on Bedrock, yeah, it's still kind of off. In fact, let me show you. If I hold on, let me. All right, it's gonna be a little bit of doxing, but if I open up Steam Big Picture, right? And if I come over here into my library of various things, if I open up Minecraft and press play on it, it opens up Prism Launcher. If I open up this instance right here, I wish I could make the Prism Launcher menu bigger, because this is just annoying. There we go. If I switch back to game mode, there we go. There we go. So we can now see there's things. If I go to mods, mods. You see, Steam controller doesn't quite know what to think about the Steam controller. I mean, I wouldn't know what to think about a weird controller either. Oh, whoops. There we go. But yeah, but if I go into, if I go into single player, right, I can come over here. I can play the game perfectly fine with the Steam controller, on mouse and key, or on a controller. And this is Java Edition running with shaders, by the way, which I like. This is complementary Unbound on the default preset. You see, there are certain things that are just not in here. Oh yeah, I forgot the controller has like weird things for when you do stuff. Okay, you can see all that. What was it that oh, this next update is when the sulfur caves come out. That'll be like in a few weeks or so. Because there wasn't much in this update. It was just a baby animals tiny takeover. But yeah, the game kind of jitters. But I think that's more to do with the way I currently have Minecraft like open and rendering. I might have to figure out how to allocate more memory to the game. Because I couldn't find a way to do it through Prism Launcher. But I know that it's a possibility. But yeah. But the main thing I wanted to talk about wasn't just the Steam controller, but I also want to talk about the other Steam hardware, so the Steam machine and the Steam frame. So when it comes to the Steam machine, I don't think I'm gonna get it. And the reason why is the Steam machine wouldn't really serve any purpose for me specifically. As somebody who already has a computer multiple times as powerful, like, what would the Steam machine do? Give me just a second computer to offload certain things to? Because, like, I kind of don't need, I kind of don't need a second computer. Because, like, you know, what am I going to do? Host a Minecraft server? Well, now all I have to do is do a multiplayer world. Because that's coming in the Chaos Cube dropped for Java Edition. And, you know, am I going to host a multiplayer server on Bedrock Edition? No, because most people can't do that. And if I want to have a 24-hour server, one of my friends will just pay me to host a realm. They'll pay me in like Discord Nitro or something. Probably like a Fortnite skin or something. I don't know. But the big thing is, oh, but the big thing, especially with like the Steam machine, is like, but the primary use case I would have had for it has just been completely eliminated, right? I would have used it to have a dedicated Minecraft server, but now that we'll just have the ability to add each other on our friends lists and join multiplayer worlds, just like that, that means that I really wouldn't need to host a server anymore. Therefore, I don't need to like pay for shenanigans, like, you know. And if you want a 24-hour server, then there are servers available. But like, as someone who plays Minecraft all the time, I greatly prefer the ease of just telling somebody to join via multiplayer rather than having them figure out how to type a server IP and all that, because a lot of people aren't as tech savvy as I am. And so having them be able to do stuff just purely in game is going to be a freaking lifesaver. Where is the Elytra? Because there's the shield, there's all the armors. Would it be like in redstone shenanigans? No. Tools. Flint and steel. And I really want a balloon SMP too. I just want more people to do more Minecraft content, but people are trying to boycott Microsoft to no avail because Microsoft and Minecraft are way too fucking big for people to boycott. Like, that's just the truth. Like, you try convincing 400 million people to not play Minecraft. Or better yet, try convincing half the freaking world to get off of Windows. Yeah, not gonna happen. I don't have the clear inventory thing. I just have to do this. And that is the thing. Like, that's why it won't work. is simply because Minecraft and Microsoft are just way too big. And that's, there's nothing that people can do about it. That's just how it's how the cookie crumbles. Um, and things are getting better. Um, but yeah, it's just the way I see it. Why try to do something if a million people stop playing Minecraft, there's still 300 plus million monthly active players. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a rounding error at that point. Like Minecraft losing 10 million active players is nothing because it fluctuates all the time. That's why those headlines are like, "Oh, Minecraft dropped in active playership. It went down by 12 million." Meanwhile, it went from like 312 million down to 300 million. Like that's literally just how it works for the statistics of the game. Unless I'm gonna need is a whole bunch of those people call me names. So I'm just gonna stop talking about that. But yeah, so like the Steam machine, like I don't really have a use for it. Uh, and so why spend your money on a new box if you're just not gonna have a really good use for it? That's my opinion, right? The Steam controller, the use is being able to play games in a brand new way with the new controller. Like that is something, right? Um, and that's why I got that because one, I love controllers, and two, the Steam controller is a great way to. Oh, it's in reimagined mode, not unbound mode. Shader pack settings. Where is where is lighting? FPR config. No. Oh, there it is. It like fixed itself. But yeah, when it comes to interesting, uh, when it comes to like the Steam machine, right? And that's another thing with the Steam Deck, right? Why would I have a reason to try to deal with a tiny little screen, um, and just go through that difficulty when my computer works fine, right? I don't see a use, in my personal opinion, for myself getting a Steam machine, and the same thing for the Steam Deck. That's just how it is for me, right? Now, when it comes to, let's say, uh, when it comes to the Steam frame, however, that is a lot more appetizing of an offer. Now, I've dabbled with VR in the past. When I was over at a friend's house, not just one time, but several times, I was over at his house. He had a Rift S, so I'd play a couple of VR games, and it was really fun. In that experience, I want to have something like that with the Steam frame, and I've debated getting a VR headset for the longest time now, because I didn't want to get one of those standalone headsets, but I also didn't want to spend over $1,000 freaking dollars on what was essentially just a screen that hooked up to your computer, and I just didn't see a use in different VR headsets, because none of them were what I was looking for, because I wanted a wireless PC VR headset, and I didn't want to get a standalone headset just to use it for PC VR. But then when Valve announced the Steam frame, I was like, that is what I want. It is a wireless PC VR. I mean, it has some standalone capabilities just because of its nature. But I'm not going to use it for standalone, so just getting the 256 gig model is perfectly fine for my needs. Plus, the Steam frame, it'll open me up to new avenues of gaming, because one big thing that I struggle with in games is seeing, right? And you're witnessing this right now. Well, that's weird. I didn't know the flowers glue. What the frick? I didn't know the flowers, they glow. Interesting. But the Steam frame would most likely be able to help with that somehow. I don't know how, but I could see something along the lines of it working. Because the Steam controller has a magnifier function, button combo, and it enables a magnifier. So I wonder if the same or something similar will be on the Steam frame. Oh, hello there, spider. Didn't see you there. But yeah, I really do think that that the Steam frame will allow me to do PCVR on my own without having to have someone like set up everything for me and then do that, because like it's just a plug and play headset. Plus, with the way it does PCVR, where it's wireless and it's through its own dedicated connection, this means that the Steam frame, it won't have any connection issues, especially with the. Oh, that is going to be something though. How would the foveated streaming work with the way my eyes are? That could be. Also, the glasses are connected. Texture packs didn't download. But yeah, I do think that if I were to get the Steam frame, which I'm almost positive that I will get the Steam frame eventually. Probably not right when it launches. I just don't have the funds for that. But that is like an eventuality. Like I will eventually end up with the Steam frame. Because that is just it's too good to pass up, and unlike the Steam machine, it does allow me to do new things, which is what I'm looking for in terms of hardware. Because the Steam machine and Steam Deck, like, yeah, the Steam Deck is a PC and the handheld form factor, but I'm not mainly looking for that. And the Steam machine is a console-like PC. Like, I have an Xbox Series S, and I have a pretty powerful computer, so I don't really see the need to get a Steam machine. And then when it comes to other stuff like Steam controller, like I got that because it'll allow me to do new things with a controller. And then now with the Steam frame, when it eventually comes out, I'm going to save up so I can get it. Yeah, I really like how bright the portal is. I also like the effects. These shaders are pretty good at. I actually think Solus is pretty neat. Hmm. Pretty much spawned me in a hole. How interesting. See, I don't know why people don't like the new Netherite texture. It's far better than the old Netherite texture. Um, all the effects. But yeah, the Steam frame I am looking forward to. Um, it is the one. It is the one device that Valve has yet to release that I'm looking forward to. The Steam Machine, not so much. It's gonna do a lot for a lot of people, but not for me. Um, Now that could change months or even years. Probably not years, but that could change down the line. But it did have to be a much more powerful Steam machine. Just because, like, I have an Xbox that's close to the same power as the Steam machine. Well, not really the same power level. It's like a third, but it's like I already have a console and I already have a PC. So like, why get the Steam machine? In my opinion, but the Steam frame is a completely different story. Ooh, yeah, I really like the way this texture pack does things. Also, hello, Mr. Creeper. Iron Golem is not caring about the creeper at all. Cool. Oh, that's right. Block of iron. Oh yeah. Not like super duper shiny, but it's there. But yeah. But that is another thing, especially with the Steam frame, is like it is a wireless PC VR headset that can also do some standalone stuff, but like the standalone is basically an afterthought. Which I think is a good idea to have. It's just the standalone being an afterthought, because like in reality, most of the people who are going to be getting this are people who have a PC, and so this will just help. Also, I freaking like the way this looks. Oh, that's... And away he goes. But yeah, now, what do I think the price for the Steam machine and Steam frame will be? I think the Steam machine, I think the Steam frame will release first, but I think the Steam machine will be more expensive than the Steam frame. And the reason why I think the Steam frame is going to be cheaper, rather than the Steam machine being cheaper, is the Steam frame has less RAM, less storage, and overall less power. Like, yeah, it's a VR headset, but, you know, it's not like cutting edge technology for a headset. And so it's actually like fairly tame when you think about it. Alright, come at me, Ender Dragon. But yeah, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, maybe the reasoning, like, maybe my reasoning is flawed for getting the Steam frame, but I don't see, I don't see, like, I just don't see, like, a million reasons to get the Steam machine if, you know, if I already have a decently powerful computer that can run every single game I already have, plus, you know, plus several more, right? Like, the Steam machine, yeah, it's Linux, but as somebody who doesn't really care too much about Linux at the moment, like, yeah, Linux is cool, but it's not, like, I don't think it's ready yet, in my opinion. I think there's still plenty of time for it to cook. But when it is ready, then it, you know, people will know. But right now is not the time. And we will not know when Linux will be ready until it is. But yeah, the Steam controller is really good so far. I'm gonna wait for like a while to do like an actual like review of it. I just need more time with it, basically. Beyond that, like, yeah, the Steam frame, not Steam, the Steam machine, like, yeah, the value it brings as basically a Steam PC that can run Windows games, and it's Steam OS, like, yeah, that the little discrete little box that people can just buy and play, like, yeah, that has value. But for someone like me who already has a computer, like a gaming PC, um, that's just not really in my cards. But I can see why people will get the Steam machine. It is a really decent offer for what it is. I mean, obviously, once we figure out the price, then we will determine if it's actually a good offer or not. But in my opinion, the Steam machine, it's good. It's just not good for me. Right? Now, the Steam frame is a lot more in my wheelhouse. I like the way this thing does ice. The way the shader pack does ice. I like the way it does like a lot of blocks where things have like bump maps. But yeah, in terms of like compatibility with like my vision, I just do not think the Steam machine is going to be super compatible with just my situation in general. But I'm not going to discourage other people from getting it if the price is right. Because it does seem like a really good value for a lot of people. It's just not for me specifically. But I am a very unique use case. But I could definitely see why a lot of people will get the Steam machine. The Steam frame, people would think that I'd be similar about the Steam frame and the Steam machine, but I'm a lot more interested in it because it's VR, right? I don't have a VR headset of my own, and so I don't want to get like one of those old wired headsets because like we're past that now. We're now in wireless PC VR territory, and so that's where I think everything is now, and I think the Steam frame is the start of the new era of VR devices. And so that's why I'm looking forward to getting the Steam frame rather than just getting like any other headset. But here's another thing, right? You know, here's another thing. Even if I get a Steam frame, I'm gonna have like there's gonna be a learning curve with it. Like I'm gonna have to figure out how to set up the darn thing visually impaired. it will be a challenge, but challenge accepted. But yeah, that is what I'm gonna be saving up for starting next month. A lot of people are saying it's going to release next month. Because of like some random leak that happened, I guess. I think it's gonna be July. I think it's gonna be at least July before we see the frame. I think maybe the machine would release in June, or the machine will release in August, and the frame in July. Um, but the frame has less RAM and storage. I think the frame will cost like probably like 650 for the cheaper model and 800 for the more expensive model. And then for the machine, I think it's going to be um probably like probably like 800 for the 2 terabyte, uh, and like 700 for the 512, maybe. Um, who knows? Who knows? I don't think Valve knows at the moment. I think they're waiting to see what the market conditions are at. Um, and once they feel comfortable, then we'll start to hear more. Yeah, people are going to keep on like tracking the Valve shipments. Um, people are going to keep on like looking at basically everything. They're going to keep on grasping at straws, and I'm just going to wait until the price and release date get announced. Because like I think it's going to be July. I don't think it's going to be June. I think it's going to be July. Um, it could be June, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be July. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But I'm fairly certain that it's going to release, like not too long from now. But I'm putting my bets on July. If it releases in June, then I'm going to be out of luck because I won't have enough money by then, unless it's like $500. I If the Steam frame is $500 for the 256 gig model, that's gonna be a steal because then I'll be able to get it when it releases in June. But I'm fairly certain it's gonna be a July release, and I'm fairly certain it's gonna be more than $500. Um, Basically, at the start of next month, I'm gonna set probably. I'm gonna start with 200 aside for the Steam frame at the start of next month, and then maybe like later on in the month, if I just know I'm gonna have enough money, then I'll set like another 100 or so. But just will not know until we do know, I guess. Now, what do I think will sell more? the Steam Machine or the Steam Frame? Probably the Steam Machine. A lot more people are willing to get a small form factor PC that can play Steam games at PS5 quality versus a VR headset. There's still a pretty negative stigma around VR because the first generation of headsets with the previous lens technology, the Fresnel lenses, caused the sentiment around VR to be pretty shit. They're like, oh, it's VR, so it must, it looks like shit because it's Fresnel lenses, but it's actually not shit anymore. Steam Frame will be using pancake lenses. Now there are LCD displays; they're not OLEDs, and I know people are gonna be like, "Well, I'm not gonna get it if it doesn't have an OLED display." But the thing is, they've actually said this, but for the Steam Frame, like for what they wanted for displays, the micro OLED technology just isn't there currently. And it would have been either way too power hungry or way too dim or way too like jittery basically to get the micro OLEDs working for the for the launch of the Steam Frame. But I'm pretty sure we will eventually see a Steam Frame OLED. Now, will I get the Steam Frame OLED? No. Because I'm going to get the regular Steam Frame. So I'll be seeing LCD, but I don't mind that too much. But yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I will see you guys later.